What if I told you that a house I inherited from my grandmother wasn't just haunted, but something far worse? Something that had been waiting decades for someone like me to return? My name is Steve Blackwood, and this is the story of how I discovered that some family secrets should never be unearthed. Growing up, I always wondered why my grandmother Margaret never invited us over for holidays. Family gatherings always happened at restaurants or hotels, never at her sprawling Victorian home on Maple Street. When she passed away last year, leaving me the house in her will, I thought I'd finally get answers. I was wrong. Some questions are better left unasked, and some doors should remain forever closed. The first red flag came from the locksmith. When I called to get new keys made, he took one look at the address and immediately quoted me triple his usual rate. Hazard pay, he muttered when I asked why, and then refused to elaborate. His hands shook as he worked the locks, and I paid him anyway. I told myself it was paranoia, but something about that moment set the tone for what would come on the day I first walked up to the house as its owner. An unsettling chill ran down my spine despite the warm October afternoon. The Victorian stood 3 stories tall, painted a deep burgundy that looked nearly black in certain angles of the sun. Ornate gingerbread trim decorated every window and doorway, but instead of charm, it felt like a cage, oppressive and suffocating. The wraparound porch sagged slightly, and in the upper windows, I could swear I saw curtains twitch, even though the house had been empty for months. The front door was solid oak, carved with intricate patterns that seemed to shift and writhe if I didn't look directly at them. My key turned smoothly, almost too smoothly, and the door swung open with a creak that echoed through the empty hallways. Stepping inside, I felt an immediate drop in temperature. Not just cool, it was bone-chilling. My breath came out in visible clouds. The realtor had warned me the heating system was ancient, but this felt different, deliberate, almost like the house itself was inhaling. Waiting for me, the foyer stretched out before me, dominated by a massive staircase curling up to the second floor. Dust motes floated in shafts of afternoon light, yet the room seemed darker than it should have been. Hardwood floors gleamed unnaturally through layers of dust, polished despite abandonment. I noticed mirrors covered with sheets or turned to face the walls. When I asked the realtor later, she claimed ignorance, but I caught the way her eyes avoided mine. For the full video, join me at Lazarus Logic Insomnia Stories.